Hi there, Craig from Music Tech Academy with a quick video in response to a request from an Ableton using friend who, like many electronic musicians without a music theory background, wants to be able to jam on top of his tracks or with friends without necessarily having to learn the instrument in the traditional way. There's a couple of ways to do this, and luckily Ableton comes with some very handy built-in tools which allow you to do just that. I've got a beat and a bass line sample here which I'll play you quickly so you can hear what we're working with. Let's say we've sampled these off a record and want to add some jazzy piano keys over the top, but we don't really understand music theory and can't play the keyboard. The first thing to figure out is what key the melodic element is in. In this case, the melody is being played by a bass line, but it could be any instrument or vocal sample. You can do this by ear, or by using a piano or a synth and playing the keys until you find what's called the root note, which will usually denote what key it's in. If you're not that confident at doing it by ear, thankfully there are various third-party programs you can use such as Mixed in Key. If you can't afford something like Mixed in Key, there's a fantastic freeware program called Rapid Evolution, which is for both PC and Mac, and is the one I'll use today. We'll open up Rapid Evolution and drag in our bass sample, which will bring up the Add Songs window. From here, we'll press Select, and we'll be prompted that key detection from files is slow, but since we're using a short loop, it shouldn't be a problem. This isn't always 100% accurate, but it has a pretty good success rate. For those who aren't familiar with the difference between major and minor keys, an easy way to think about it is to imagine that major keys often sound quite joyous and uplifting, and minor keys sound quite melancholic and reflective. The majority of electronic music tends to be written in a minor key. We'll go back into Ableton Live now and drag in a sampler with a grand piano preset. We'll add a little bit of compression to bring the level up as well. Now we'll go to the MIDI effects menu in the Live device browser and drop in an instance of the Scale plugin onto our sampler track. We'll also activate the preset hot swap button and choose the one titled C minor, as that will put the plugin in minor key mode. Next, we'll take the bass dial to match the key of the bass line, which we know is in the key of A. Now, whichever note we play will be in the A minor scale. For those who don't know music theory or what a scale is, you can think of a key as a family, and a scale is made up of the members of that family. So right now, we're in the family of A minor, and the 8 notes that make up the key of A minor are called the A minor scale. Those 8 notes repeat up the keyboard every time you get to another A note. A minor is an easy scale to remember because it consists of all the white notes on the keyboard and none of the black ones. However, thanks to the Scale plugin, you won't need to know this, because if you play a wrong note, let's say for example a C sharp, which is a black note and not in the A minor scale, it will automatically transpose it to the closest note below it, which is in the A minor scale, in this case, C. This means that as our loops play, we can rhythmically jam over the top, pressing any key on the keyboard, and it will be in key, and if we're lucky, sound half decent. To take this a little further, we can also turn our notes into chords using the Chord plugin. A chord is a collection of multiple notes played together, usually in the same key or scale. Let's drag an instance of the Chord plugin into Sampler. Here you'll find 6 transpose dials, each with a numerical message below it indicating how many semitones up or down the note will be, and below that another numerical message indicating the velocity or volume of each note. As you turn one of the dials, it adds a note to the chord. Turning it to the right adds a higher note, and to the left adds a lower note. If we turn the first dial 3 degrees to the right, and we count 3 semitones, or piano keys, up on our keyboard, including the black keys, we can see that we must be playing an A and a C note in unison. If we then turn the second dial 7 degrees to the right and count our way up the keyboard, we must be playing an A, a C, and an E note in unison. This is a very common chord shape and is known as a triad. Now, as we jam, any note we play will play a corresponding triad chord. Feel free to experiment with the transposition knobs and presets. For those of you wanting to take this concept a little further, there are some excellent VSTs and Max for Life devices out there which offer everything we've seen and more. One particular free Max plugin which comes to mind is Henrik Schwartz's Schwarzenator. You can click on the link in the video or comment to see Henrik's fantastic device. Happy jamming!